Hi, ladies. I wanted to get on and get ready for our live chat. If you are here, let me know by commenting so that I can see who all is here. I am so excited about this group. I'm excited about each of you, and just trying to navigate myself to the page on my laptop. But I am so excited about everything that's going on in the group. The interaction from you all, the encouragement that you're giving each other. And so I wanted to start our live chat. Let me see who is here. While I'm navigating, I wanted to thank you all for when some of you joined, you agreed to 3 terms that allowed us to feel more comfortable with sharing. I felt like those were important because anytime you're sharing something about yourself, you want to make sure that it's not going to, hi Lachey, you want to make sure that it's not going to, sorry about that, to be heard or told in other places or to other people outside the group, because the purpose of this group is to uplift and encourage each other. And with that, we want to make sure that everyone in the group feels comfortable sharing their personal information, sensitive information sometimes, like the discussion that we had a few days ago. I want to thank the ladies who participated and shared with the group. Thank you, Lachey. I wanted to thank you for sharing freely, trusting the group, trusting the other ladies in the group, and making sure that you just kept the comments coming, and we all were able to interact and understand other points of view, because that's the thing about some of the topics that we'll be talking about in the group. We may not always agree with a comment that someone makes, but we can at least see it from their view and consider what they're saying, because our view is not the only correct view. Everybody feels the way that they do. Each person has a viewpoint that they're coming from their own experiences, the things that they've encountered in their lives. So we have to respect how they feel about something. And so I'm glad that, hi Sade, I'm glad that the group has started out very well. I love the feel of the group. And I wanted to tell you ladies that I am not the only one who can, hi Sade, I'm not the only one who can comment in a group. If you feel led to post something in a group that you feel like the other ladies can benefit positively from, then go ahead and share. I am open to, hi Alice, I am open to each of us encouraging each other, because it's not just for you all to grow, but it's for me to grow too. And there may be something that you're sharing with the group that I can grow from. So, I wanted to go ahead and get started. Our topic for today is phenomenal woman. Now, in that, I listed some questions in the post. The first question was, what does it mean to be a phenomenal woman? Second question was the Proverbs 31 woman. Yes, we're talking about her. Can we be a Proverbs 31 woman? And if so, how? Because I've heard people say that was back in Bible days. That doesn't apply to us now. And if you read everything that she did, that's just too much for us to be expected to do. So I wanted your thoughts on it to see what you felt. I have my opinion, but again, everyone has a different perspective of the Proverbs 31 woman. So we are going to get started. Now, I actually pulled up the poem Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou. I love her. This poem was beautiful. So I wanted to read it to you really quickly. It's a little lengthy, but you'll enjoy it and follow along with me. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellows stand or fall down to their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. I am a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need for my care. 'Cause I'm a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That's me. I absolutely love this poem. Now, to me, the poem is a phenomenal woman. For me, it means a few things. Now, sometimes when people think about phenomenal woman, they think, oh, she has to be beautiful, and that beauty entails her being a certain size, her being a certain number on the scale, her having her hair look a certain way. That's, to me, a certain standard that we as women have been forced to live by. But that's not my standard of what a phenomenal woman is. So to me, the word phenomenal in itself means remarkable, extraordinary, exceptional. Now, I can look around at my friends list, you ladies, my address book, and there are so many phenomenal women in my environment, in my circle, in just my whole, what word am I looking for? In my whole community, my village, my sisterhood. So to me, to be a phenomenal woman, it doesn't mean that you're perfect, because we all make mistakes. We're imperfect beings, but it's what you do with those imperfections, to me, is what matters. Now, we can have a bad day, but we turn that day around and make it a great day. You're phenomenal. You can go out and mess up today on the finance, but tomorrow you recoup and you get it right tomorrow. You're phenomenal. Why? Because you don't sit down. You don't wallow in your mistakes. You get up, you pick yourself back up, and you make what seemed like it should have been horrible and turn out bad. You turn it around to work out for you, not just you, but your family, your husband, your children. So that brings us to the Proverbs 31 woman. Now, I've read this section of verses in Proverbs so many times, and to me, it was exhausting. She's exhausting because she does so much. So I made my own list of the Proverbs 31 woman, just from the things that I saw in those verses. She did a lot. So I'm going to read you some of my things that I found in it. Trustworthy, generous, forgiving, financially responsible, seamstress, cook, homemaker, helpful. Now, these are just a few. Crafty, business owner, designer. She was kind. She was a good mother. She was a good wife. She was a hard worker. She took care of not just her family, but she was good to her neighbors and other people that she encountered. She was also a planner. She was organized. She was not lazy. She spent wisely. She bargain shop. So I look at those things and I'm like, okay, I know I can check some of those things off the list because, I just don't do well at all of those things. But she's a superwoman, Lachey, exactly. But if we really look at it and break it down to what her virtues really are, we can see ourselves in every one of those things. We may not sew very well, but I can sew a button on my husband's shirt if he loses a button. I don't have to be a seamstress, but if I can do the little things, or I can bargain shop so well that it would be cheaper for me to go out and buy it than to buy the material and sew it myself. Now, there are friends of mine who are great at sewing. I personally like to crochet, so that's my thing. I like to make blankets. Truthfully, I've been working on a blanket. My last two blankets, I made my two older children blankets for when they graduated. Yes, I know one of mine just turned 24. I have not finished hers yet, but I'm working on it. Giving myself grace. So I have two blankets to make. But the thing about it is I am not perfect. I don't always get it right. But that doesn't make me any less a phenomenal woman. It doesn't make me any less, any less the virtuous woman that's described in Proverbs 31. Yeah, I see that. Sade, your mom is a bargain queen. Yes, just from a few conversations I've had with her, I can believe that. But, and that's what we have to remember. We don't have to be perfect at everything, but the things that we do, we give it our all, and we try to be the best we can for our families and for our households. So we're still phenomenal women. We're still Proverbs 31 women. And to me, a phenomenal woman is a Proverbs 31 woman. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was when I looked at the Proverbs 31 woman and compared it to, well, is she phenomenal in all that she does? Yes, she is. Hi, Tanya. She is. And why is that? Well, some of the virtues that I saw as I was writing them down, I recognized myself in them. And I am sure that you're going to recognize yourself in all of these things when I broke it down to what it really means. Because we can read those verses and we can think, okay, that's just too much. But if we break it down to the actual virtues that she had, we'll see that we have those same qualities as well. She had faith. She served God with her whole heart, mind, and soul. All of us in here know that we can't do anything without God. There is no life without him. And if we are living without him, it's a tough life. Yes, we can go out and we can do what we want to do and say, okay, well, I'll get with that God thing later. But I've learned from years of experience that there is no life without God. And the Proverbs 31 woman, she follows that same principle. Life with God is better than life without God. Next, her marriage. She respects her husband. Now, for me, this area, sometimes it is hard. I will admit, sometimes it's hard because sometimes I'm like, okay, he's getting on my last nerve. But I have to remember a friend of mine said something to me a couple of weeks ago, and it instantly convicted me. We were talking about our husbands, and she, how we vent sometimes. And she said one day God, said to her, he is your king, your Jesus, the Jesus of your household. And she said that, and it instantly was like, okay, God, I hear you. Because sometimes we forget who our husbands are. They are the head, and God created them to be the head. So yes, sometimes it's hard. We don't always like the decisions they make for the family. We don't always like some things that they say, but ultimately, because we are submitted to them and we are under the covering, because we're submitted, then whatever comes, we're protected because we're under that covering. So yes, that's hard sometimes. And sometimes, with women, being independent and, they want to do their own thing. I don't need a man. Well, God says that once we get a husband, he is our covering. He is our protection. And so anything that happens, maybe my husband may make a bad decision. I may not agree with it, but I'm protected under that umbrella that he provides. So, we are to submit to our husbands as he submits to God. And that's how it goes. It's God, our husbands, and ourselves, and then our children under that. So that's one thing that we have to remember, ladies. Yes, sometimes it gets hard to be submitted, but submission is not a bad word. It's actually a word that protects us. The next thing that I noticed with the Proverbs 31 woman is how she mothers her children. She takes such good care of her children. She makes sure that they have their meals, they're provided for, they are clothed well. And to me, I love being a mother, even though my last one is 17, about to be 18. I will never stop being a mother, and you won't either, for those of you who are mothers. And the thing that I noticed about that is the verse that I keep coming back to as my children are getting older. If we train them up the way that they should go, they may stray, but they will not depart from that word. They will come back, and God is faithful. Some things that I pray over my children, I may not have seen them come to pass yet, but I know that God is faithful because I was faithful and I did what I was supposed to do as a mother, and I directed them to God. So if they stray, they will come back. I just have to trust and believe that He's going to bring them back. So that's what I noticed. We just need to be good mothers and remember that God is faithful. The next thing that I looked at is how she's a homemaker. She prepares the meals for her family, for her husband. So she's a good homemaker. Whether you're outside the home or you're inside the home, it doesn't matter. You take care of your family, and that's what's important. Now, some of us have multiple jobs. I myself, even though I'm in the home, I work sun up, sun down. I'm working, and sometimes, well into the next morning. And sometimes we can get caught up in if you're working outside the home, then you have a real job. Those women who stay at home, they don't really work. And that has bothered me for so long because it pits us against each other. And the fact that for women who stay at home and choose to raise their children, that is a hard job. It is not easy. And so, we as women should respect those who stay at home, but also on the flip side, we can't look down at the women who choose to go outside of their home. Why? Because it's just as hard for them to leave their children in someone else's care. And yes, we all wear many hats, whether you're inside the home or you're outside the home. We wear a lot of hats as women because our husbands depend on us. Our children depend on us. We wear so many hats. So we have to remember that whether, I'm wearing the hat of being at home or you're wearing the hat of working in a corporation or somewhere outside the home, it doesn't make you better than me and it doesn't make me better than you. We're walking the same race, may have a different purpose, but we're walking the same race, and we have to remember that we're here to help each other. God didn't create us to be islands. We're here to help each other. So I may be able to help you do something that, you're not skilled in, but I can help you. And same thing, you can help me with something. So that's what I noticed about how she cares for her home. The next thing is she serves. She has a servant's heart. Now that right there is it touches me to my core, because daily my prayer is, God, help me to always have a servant's heart, no matter where you take me, no matter what platform. And what I mean by platform is, who I'm in front of, whether I'm in front of someone or alone. I always have a servant's heart, and that I always remember why I do what I do, and that I always remember that you are the reason. I can write 50 books. I could, he could elevate me to speak on hundreds of stages worldwide. But if I forget that I am here to serve other women and to show them the way, and to show them, and what I mean by the way is show them the way to Him so that they can find their purpose that He has created them for. If I forget all of that, then I'm doing it for nothing. It's not even worth it anymore if I forget why I'm doing it, and He is the reason why I'm doing it. So moving on to the next thing, finances. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm the one in our household who does the finances. So I can completely relate to the Proverbs 31 woman. In the finances, she takes care of the finances. She finds bargains. She does what she has to do to make sure that budget is right. make sure that, they don't have any bounce checks. They don't have bill collectors calling them, talking about where my money. They have the lights on, lights not going off. Water is not getting disconnected. She is making sure, yes, Tanya, she is making sure that everything's taken care of. Why? Because then her husband can go out and do what he needs to do without that worry on his mind. He can be able to go to his job, and be like, my wife's got it. She's got it all taken care of. Whenever, we have something coming up, or Kenny's not sure, he's like, okay, yeah, that's your lane. He knows that's my lane. I got it all taken care of. We can be out somewhere and he wants to do something. He just has to say, and then in my head, because I always keep in the, somewhere in my brain where we are financially, because with so many expenses that we've had with business, I have to stay on top of it. But even if you don't have a business and you don't have multiple things going on, the Proverbs 31 woman shows us that it's important to keep our finances in order. And the other reason for that is, how are we going to fulfill the purpose that God has given us if we're broke all the time? How is it that we're going to be able to do what he's called us to do if we can't manage our money? Now, some may say, well, I need a better job in order to do that. If you can't do it with little, how are you going to be able to do it with a lot? It's the same habits. So change your habits and you'll be able to manage better. That's what I say. Better habits, better management of your money. Now, I know sometimes people are like, because we like to travel, but because we like to travel, that takes money. Sometimes we may have to forego something. I can't do this or I can't do that because we want to take this trip. That's all part of planning. So everybody can live an abundant life. We just have to manage our funds, and so that he can bless us with more. He can't bless us with more if he knows already we're just going to waste it. So don't be putting your money in a bag with holes. You want your money to go somewhere and work for you, not you working for your money constantly and not getting anywhere in life. Moving on, she was a hard worker. I love that. She was a hard worker. She, sometimes I look at so many of my friends, and you guys know how to hustle and get the job done. I've always heard, if you want to go somewhere, you want to fly high, get with eagles. You don't have time for chickens. I have no time for chickens, because if my circle is not motivating me to be better and to do better, then I don't have time for that, because I'm trying to do what God called me to do. And I can't do that pecking on the ground. I am trying to fly high, not meaning to offend anyone, but that's the same thing that you need to be thinking when you choose the people that you have in your life. When you surround yourself with people, make sure they're trying to go somewhere. And the last thing that I wanted to touch on was, she was beautiful. Now, when I say she was beautiful, that doesn't always mean that she had outer beauty. She probably was beautiful outside. But what I'm talking about is the inner beauty. Because we can have, the latest clothing, the latest hairstyle, makeup on point, looking good, nails done. But if we don't have it in here, beauty from God, and being kind to people and being gentle and just treating other people the way that, God says that we should. Nobody wants to follow us. Nobody wants to hear what we have to say. Why should they? Because you're beautiful until you open your mouth. And then people are like, well, I just wish she would have just smiled and waved. Smiled and waved, not said anything, because she has an ugly attitude and she's nasty inside. We don't want to be that type of woman. Yes, ugly personality, Sade. We don't want to be that type of woman. We want to be the type of woman where when we leave someone's presence, they're like, wow, she was so pleasant. I wish I could have had more time with her. I hate that she had to leave so soon. We want to leave a lasting impression, because I read somewhere today that it's too late for the second impression. The first impression is a lasting impression. They will remember you, not for anything you said, for how you treated them. And if you're an ambassador for Christ, it's important for you to treat people with kindness, treat them with love, treat them not just how you want to be treated, but I think about it this way. If my child goes somewhere, how do I want other people to treat them? Now, we know we're all mama bears. We get upset if someone is mean or rude to our children. So everyone we encounter is God's child. So we need to remember that in our encounters and interactions with them. So those are the things that I pulled out of the Proverbs 31 woman, and that's what I got from being a phenomenal woman. You all can be phenomenal women as well and line up with the Proverbs 31 verses. It's not hard. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves and we make it harder than it is, but God wouldn't have put it in there if he didn't think that we were capable of it. So I wanted to tell you a few things before I get off. First of all, I wanted to thank you for joining me and to remind you that I don't know if you've been following my countdown that I started at the beginning of the week, but tomorrow I will be making a big announcement, a special announcement. If you have not already followed along and participated in some of the activities, if I were you, I would go back and I would do so, because I have a sweet treat, a sweet prize that I'm going to be doing a drawing for that special person. And I am so excited about this news. I'm going to stop now because I might slip and say something, but I'm really super excited about what I'm going to share tomorrow. It's one of the things that I've had on my list, and God has seen fit for it to happen. It's one of the many things that he's doing in my life. I am so excited about sharing this with you guys, and I'm just grateful that you guys are, I am telling you, I'm about to burst. I am so grateful to have you all on this journey with me. I am so glad that you all decided to be a part of the group. And I just wanted to say again, thank you for joining me. And I hope you have enjoyed this few minutes that we've had together. So I'm trying to read what Lachey is saying. Free 99. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Not sure. So I am going to go ahead and get off. Oh, and last thing, I have an event tomorrow. It's an author event. If you are local here in Houston, I put the link earlier today. I posted a link for you to go and get your tickets. The event is free. If you'd like to join me, I will be signing books. If you've bought a book from me already, I will sign your book if it's not already signed. I will have other special goodies there. Can't tell you what they are because that's part of my announcement. Do you need to Google free? Tanya, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm sorry, Tanya and Lachey. I have no idea what you're talking about with the free 99. But anyway, so that's all I have for you today, ladies. Oh, it's free. Yeah. What is free? The giveaway or the event I'm going to tomorrow? If you're talking about the event, yes, the event is free. The only, free prize. Yes, Sade, free prize. It's a free prize that I am going to be doing. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I am getting a copy of my book so that I can show you guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Here's the book. Having a hard time keeping this straight. Sorry. Okay, there it is. Here's the book. My first baby. It's A Crown of Beauty for Ashes. It is, I say my baby because it was the start of everything. It was the dream. Thank you, Tanya. It was the dream come true. God showing me that I could do anything even the things that I thought I wasn't capable of. This book is the beginning of everything that God is doing in my life and that He's allowing me to do in the lives of others. So if you do not have your copy, you can get it on my website at tyradjones.com, and you'll get a signed copy. And I'll even write a special message in it for you. So, like I said, thanks again, ladies, for joining me. I really appreciate you being along on the journey with me, and I look forward to more chats in the group. And if you have topics that you want to discuss, send me a message or post it in the group, and we can get a discussion going. Remember, this is your group just as much as it's mine. All right, love you, ladies, and you all have a great evening.